Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Believe it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button. Oh, and another goal for Super Eagle. This is Premier Sports Center. Believe it anywhere, take it anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscribe.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Premier Sports Fan Center. And today is our Friday Talk Sports show. Yeah, a program where we analyze all the happenings of the season, weekdays, middle of the week, midweek, and all the happenings during the week. Yeah, because there are a lot of issues, a lot of topics, a lot of story going on right now in the world of sports, and we'll be dishing them out to you one after the other. So many things to talk about, but hey, I'm not alone to break down all the happenings in the world of sport. We have with me today Paulo. Paulo, you're welcome to the studio.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how do you feel right now? Yeah,
well, I feel very excited. It's the middle of the season, and the transfer window is officially open, and we're beginning to see some big moves. And some, sacks and employment here and there from different clubs.
And to our fans, this is our first Talk Sports show of the year, and we want to wish you a happy new year. Always stay with Premier Sport Fan Center. You always get the best from us. Let's quickly dive to the topics. A lot of topics. Let's first of all look at some of the sacks that actually that actually happened during the week. We saw some coaches sacked and some employed, and one of those coaches sacked is Lopetegui, Julian Lopetegui. And he has been replaced immediately. And we actually saw his exploit. It's a Spaniard. It's a Spaniard, and remember, this is his second team he's coaching in the Premier League. Yeah, it was once the coach of Wolverhampton. Yeah, and right now, presently the coach of West Ham. Yeah, West Ham, and he has been sacked, and immediately there's a replacement. But let's look at what he has actually done. We've seen he has played 20 games, just 6 wins. Just 6 wins for the Spaniard as a coach. Does it warrant his sacking?
I think the sacking has been coming all season long. For West Ham United, we saw how they sacked David Moyes after so many years. Even winning them their first major European trophy. Winning them the Conference League, but the fans were not still contented with whatever he has done for the club. But they sacked him and went ahead to appoint Julian Lopetegui. We will know. I think he was also sacked at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Or there's some report that he actually left the job on his own. We don't know what actually happened, but bringing in Julian Lopetegui, former Real Madrid coach and one-time Spanish national team coach, the Hammers were thinking that they could get at least a new kind of football that they've been craving for. The fans talking about them winning and playing a beautiful brand of football. But since he was appointed, it has not been going well for Wolf. It took him almost up to 7 matches before he could get his first win in the league. And you could see the way kind of result they've been getting all season. Embarrassing results. They were hammered by Arsenal 5-2 at their home stadium. In first half, we saw how they were demolished also by Liverpool also in front of their fans. And they've been, getting a lot of bad results from here and there. For Lopetegui, I think he should be happy that the club waited till almost ending of the year for them to have sacked him. I was expecting them to have sacked him long ago, but but I've been seeing it coming, and it has finally happened.
All right, it has finally happened. He hasn't. Let's quickly look at some of his stats. It took him well from the bottom of the table when he first arrived in November 2022, winning his first match in charge against Everton. The Spaniard went on to lead them to 13th position, took them from the bottom and led them to 13th position. Right now at West Ham, 20 matches, just won 6 matches, and that is not good for his image. And in all, we look at his stats in the Premier League. He has played 43 matches, win 15 altogether. That's with the one with as a coach of Wolves and as a coach of West Ham. 43 matches, we win 15, drew 9, lost 19. And the goals, he has scored 47 goals and he has conceded 73 goals. And right now, he has been sacked. He's one of those coaches that has actually been sacked. So we'll quickly look at Graham Potter. He has been appointed the new West Ham coach. Were you expecting it? Or is that a good appointment for West Ham?
Yeah, I think it's a good appointment for West Ham. Looking at Graham Potter's record, when we first noticed him when he was at Brighton and Hove Albion, we saw how Brighton played. They were one of the teams that, always very difficult to break down. Before you could break down the Brighton and Hove team, it takes a lot of time, and we see how they play. They keep possession a lot. They attack you and they defend. We see how they were winning under Graham Potter. Talking about Brighton and Hove. At the time, I think they made it to. Is it not to the? Is it Europa League then? They were playing the kind of football that every fans would like to see their team play. And for him now, it has been and we also see him do when he was appointed at Chelsea. Though it didn't went as planned, but at the end we saw what he intended to do with Chelsea Football Club, but. There was no time for him to implement his kind of play with Chelsea. Eventually, he was relieved of his job, but and I think he has stayed almost a year plus for him to get another job now. And he waited, and good one for him. West Ham United are a big team. We know them to be, and I think he's going to succeed at West Ham United. Yeah,
he's going to succeed at West Ham United. Although his profile is gradually increasing, gradually expanding, because he was first of all women's football technical director before he went to Austin Sud as the manager. He was the manager of Swansea. He went to Brighton, and lastly Chelsea before right now West Ham United. So his profile is gradually increasing, and we saw his best was at Brighton. That was why he was actually appointed the manager of Chelsea, and we saw at the point he started going the wrong way for him, and right now he has been appointed the manager of West Ham. And you know what he said? He said, I am a better coach now. Probably he has realized some of the mistakes he made at Chelsea. And from this appointment, do you think it's going to be better from what you see with the kind of players West Ham having, and with the kind of tactics we saw in Chelsea, in Brighton? Do you think he's going to perform very well at Brighton?
Yeah, I think he's going to, because like you said, I believe he has learned from his lessons, with Brighton, with Chelsea, because when he was at Brighton, we saw how he was playing, and we saw how Brighton were on the rise with him. And him saying he has learned his lesson, I believe so. Although nobody will be expecting him to come and win the Premiership with West Ham, or even challenging for the top 4 this season now, because where West Ham are now, they need to make sure they don't go to relegation, because you see their position and the kind of form the team are. First of all, he needs to make sure that the team survive the relegation battle, and then next season going forward, then probably taking them back to the European spot, even though it's the Conference League. We saw them how they won the Conference League, you understand? So, and I think for West Ham, I believe David Moyes that won them that competition has actually set a standard for them, for any other coach to come and beat. I believe that's one of the reasons West Ham had to sack Julian Lopetegui. For West Ham, they have been challenging in the Europa League, Conference League, and suddenly they find the same bottom again, despite numerous signings. You could see they brought in a lot of players in the summer, and it has not been going well. But for Julian Lopetegui, what's his name again? Graham Potter. I think he has, taken his time to study the West Ham team, and he sees that he can work with this team, and I believe also that those mistakes he made at Chelsea, I don't think he's going to repeat it with West Ham, because the pressure at West Ham is quite different from the one at Chelsea. We know how Chelsea put pressure on their managers, not like West Ham, but at the same time, I believe he has learned.
All right, you believe us? Let's quickly go to Sean Dyche also. Well, some will say Sean Dyche was sacked, but he was not sacked. He actually left his role as the manager, of Everton. You know, on the 9th of January 2025, that was when he left the job. That was just yesterday. Today's what 10th? Yesterday. So we got that breaking news that he has left his job, and we saw after he left his job, we saw Everton went for in the FA Cup against Petersburg. They actually won that match, So again, Sean Dyche is one old coach in the EPL. He has so much experience. 33 matches played in the EPL. He managed to win 93 out of that 33, drew 91 and lost 149 matches. And goals, he has scored 323 goals, and he has conceded 469 goals. So he's one coach that has actually had so many experience, and for him to just decide to leave that role, probably has seen something.
Yeah, I don't think he decided to leave. I think Everton now they have a new owner, and the new owners, the Americans, they have a plan for the team or for the club as a whole. We also know that this season will be the last season they will be playing at Goodison Park. They will also be moving to their new stadium come 2025-2026 season. So for Everton, like I was saying earlier on about West Ham being a big team, you understand. Everton have been there. They are one of the few clubs who have not relegated from the Premier League, from the Premiership rather. They've not been relegated. And for Everton, we've seen them, struggling years to years since David Moyes left them. They've not been able. At the time, they brought on one of this famous coach now, this Carlo Ancelotti. I know many people have forgotten that Ancelotti actually coached at Everton. That's to tell you the kind of club they have, to be able to attract that kind of coach. There was a time they also had coaches like, what's his name now? The former Liverpool coach also. Talking about
club.
No. The one before club, the Spaniard.
Okay.
They also coach Real Madrid. I'm trying to remember. Rafael Benitez. Rafael Benitez. You see the kind of coach Everton have been able to, bring into their fold. But for Everton, things have not been going well for them. And talking about Sean Dyche, we know Sean Dyche to be a coach that he loves relegation battle clubs. When you want to avoid relegation,
you bring him
appoint me. He will give you he will do the job for you, and we've seen him been doing it with Everton. But for Everton, they've not been progressing in the last 4 or 5 years. I would say they've not been progressing since David Moyes left them. Even when they brought coaches like Ancelotti, Rafael Benitez, they were still struggling. We know where they used to finish under David Moyes. They are always looking around 1 to 8. But since David Moyes left them for Manchester United, they've been floating around 15, 16. Yes, they get maybe 14. So for Everton, the new owner, I believe they actually had a meeting with Sean Dyche to discuss his future. We don't want to sack you because you've tried for us. Let's just find a way to discuss, and you go to the press and tell them that it's just a mutual agreement that you are leaving. But to me, I was so surprised. He was relieved of the job barely 1 hour to the match between
2 hours to the match.
2 hours rather to the match between Petersburg. They could have voted for him to at least take charge of that match, because I was expecting.
But they won the match.
They won. Even with him, they will still win Petersburg. But I don't know what happened. Maybe I don't know. But I believe something went wrong for them to have taken that decision. They actually, if they had lost that match yesterday, it would have been a disaster. We saw what happened. when you sack coach towards maybe 1 hour or 2 hours to the main maybe to the match. We saw what happened with Tottenham and Jose Mourinho, taking them to one of the recent most top final. But at the end of the day, they sacked him a week to the final, and they went ahead to lose the match. But for Everton, that was not the case. But I think Everton now, they need to take their time and look for a good coach that will take them, because I don't see reason you sack Sean Dyche and go and look for a mediocre coach that will still continue to drag you towards relegation. But For Sean Dyche, we know him. I will be expecting him to get another job very soon. Probably one of these clubs are in the top bottom three now. They will want to, because he's one of the specialists.
Specialists in relegation.
It reminds me of coaches like Sam Allardyce. When you want to escape relegation,
You go and bring him.
call his number.
All right, Sean Dyche is out, and the rumors here and there. Anytime a coach is sacked, or anytime something like this happen, it calls for so many rumors. We begin to hear rumor that Mourinho is coming to Everton. We begin to hear rumor that so many coaches have been linked to Everton. But hey, let's wait and see. All these are rumor. So let's quickly go to the next one, and the big one. And we expect most of the Nigerian fans want to hear your view on this particular our issue. That is the new coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. During the week we saw a surprising news. Do I call it a gift to Nigerian football fans? That the new coach has been appointed, and it's a Malian, Eric Chile Seko, former Mali coach. His only experience he's had as a national, the training a national team was Mali. The rest was a club side, Valencia, Lens, and the rest of them. Mali was the only national team he has coached, and the NFF brought in Eric Chile Seko. What were your feeling? What were you thinking at that particular time when you got that breaking news?
Well, I had to recheck again to make sure I'm not getting
a fake news.
Because I was so surprised, never heard of him much, but other than the last time I saw him or heard of him was when they were pouring gallon of water on his head. I was so surprised. I had to make sure so that I will not even repost, spread fake news. I had to recheck. Is this Super Eagle, or we have different eagles in Africa? So I had to make sure that this one is correct. But I was surprised, for the coach, the Malian, we call him, we know when someone's, in Nigeria, when we say Malians, we know what Malians mean.
Yeah.
For them to go and bring us Malian, we know how Malians behave here in Nigeria. So hopefully we are getting, what I would say is that we just need to, support the NFF. They've appointed him. There's nothing we're going to do now. We need to give him chance. We've seen a lot of other countries appoint, local coaches. But at the same time, my only worry is that why appointing him when you have Austin Eguavon, who is also still a local coach. You understand? But for the NFF, a lot of Nigerian fans, they've been complaining about NFF for a long time. Some people say due to corruption, that's why the Nigerian football, might play the Super Eagles, national team have not been moving forward. The kind of coaches they give us, they are not the kind of coaches the Super Eagles need. We know the position we are talking about qualifying to the World Cup. It's very dicey for the Super Eagles, because for us to be at the next World Cup now, we need to make sure we win all the matches. You don't even need a draw. We don't need a draw. We need to win all our matches. But is this coach now the coach that will take us to the World Cup?
But again, what most Nigerians are actually saying right now is that we have other domestic coaches that a lot of people have been expecting, even before the appointment of Guavon, as a caretaker manager for Super Eagles. A lot of suggestions. Coaches like Amanike, even Siasia, his suspension should be over by now, and the rest of them. But these people are not considered, and they went for Eric Sakao Chile, a Malian coach. So do you think that this domestic coach, they don't have what it takes, to deliver this qualification of the World Cup to Nigeria?
Yeah, first of all, let's just remove the name of Samson Siasia. To me, it has been disgraced. I don't think the Super Eagles national team need that kind of personality again. For the Super Eagles, maybe under 17, but for the Super Eagles, no. But talking about this Malian coach now, Eric, if he's the one that will deliver for the Super Eagles, well, we saw how when we, the rise of the Super Eagles national team is dating back from during the time of Westerhoff, how unknown coach also then coming on to take over the job of the is it the Green Eagles then? We saw how he steadied the ship. But if you're talking about upgrade for the Super Eagles, to me, from my own honest opinion, I don't think this man is the upgrade to Eguavon. Like you said, we have a lot of home-based coaches here that we can easily appoint. But for one reason or the other, the NFF have decided no, that we are going foreign. So going foreign now, you have to go back to Mali. So for Mali football, we saw how the man have been trying, but he has never won anything with Mali. And we know the kind of country we are. Super Eagles, when we fail to win anything, it's always all the fans won't be happy. And bringing in Eric now, and we have is it the Nations Cup coming up very soon? To me, it's not an upgrade, but let's just wait and see what will happen. But I won't be surprised if we fail to pick the ticket to the World Cup at the same time not even winning the Nations Cup.
All right, so viewers, wherever you are, we just want to hear your opinion on this particular issue, because this issue definitely will come back to you one of these days, if Eric did not perform very well. And also come back to you if you perform very well, because you will see I have to say one or two things. But we also want to hear your view, whatever your thoughts are on this particular appointment of Eric Chile. Let's hear your own view. You can send it to our comment section. Our section is open. Just drop your comment and we'll be here to hear your own view. So let's quickly go to the next issues here to discuss. We don't have much time, but let's quickly go to, we've seen the transfer market. Going to the transfer market right now, we've seen a series of transfer already completed, some deal completed, but we are still waiting for the big ones. But right now we're going to look at just the top 5 transfer deals that has been completed in the market right now. Yeah, where we have Emmanuel Agbado, from Rennes to Wolves. Yeah, I think it's the highest so far. Yeah. 16.76 million. So far. Then we have Seko Fofana. He also is an Ivory Coast, from Al-Nassr to Rennes of France for 16.6 million. Then we have Enrico Polio from Atletico to Palmeiras of Brazil, for 15 million. Kevin Denke, a Seko Brugge to Cincinnati for 12.7 million, And we have Antonin Kinsky, a goalkeeper, Slavia Prague to Tottenham. We saw him against Liverpool. Yeah, it was a goalkeeper. He got a clean sheet. His first appearance for Tottenham, he got a clean sheet, and we saw his reflexes. We saw his saves in that encounter, and he's already giving good account of himself. So, which of this completed deal will you like to talk about right now, the way it's going? Though we have other completed deal you talk about, but let's talk about this one. Then you talk about the Nigerian who actually have completed their deals to other clubs. But quickly,
talking about the new Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper, I think good work for him. 21 years, is it? Yeah, 21 years old. Coming to Tottenham Hotspur just barely 3 days, and he was starting a match also at the same time, keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool. Good one for him, though Tottenham are having, I call it crisis now with their goalkeeping department, with their first and second choice goalkeeper. They have been ruled out for some time now. So, Tottenham had to make sure they quickly get somebody, and I think they got it right, with the appointment of, the signing of the Kinsky, and he came on and he did a fantastic job. Talking about Seko Fofana also, we saw Seko Fofana. He has been in Europe for a while now. He actually moved to Saudi Arabia. That was during the summer, but I don't know what happened. Like we've seen with other players going to Saudi Arabia, before maybe one season they run back to Europe, and he's back now. He's back. So, and talking about also some moves we've seen with the Nigerian players that have moved. We've seen Gift Urban from Olympic Lyon to Osimhen. And we know he has been struggling there. We know he has not been himself since he moved from Belgium to France. Hopefully, we discover his form there at Osimhen and probably get a call back to the Super Eagle. Also the man that once his name pop up in the Nigerian national team sheet, every Nigerians will start complaining. Why is it called? Homer Sadiq. You know, we were all happy for him when he moved from America down to Real Sociedad. But unfortunately, he picked up a nasty injury that ruled him out for almost a season. Since he came back from that injury, he has not been himself. In the last 2 to 3 months, I don't think he has started any real competitive match for Real Sociedad. He has not been getting those goals. He has not been even playing, but still yet he makes the Super Eagles list. And every Nigerians are always crying, shouting, why is this guy being called up? When you have the like of Cyril Diesel, other players, you know, making playing for their teams and scoring. But, you know, for Omar Sadiq, I think he has seen, heard the cries of Nigerians. At the same time, he needs to look for another challenge elsewhere. And a good one for him, he has been able to get another club. He actually moved from Real Sociedad now to Valencia, and we saw him, you know, making his debut. Is it 3 days ago when Valencia played in the Copa del Rey, and they actually won 2-0. But he was not on the score sheet. But let's see what happen now going forward for him.
All right, let's see what happens going forward for Sadiq Umar, the tall one. I call him, you know, and you know, most times, you know, some Nigerians don't know his value, you know, because there are teams that actually want such player with such height. One, you know, we saw him score so many goals in the summer club before coming to Real Sociedad. You know, they know how to make use of him, but probably doesn't have a place in the Nigerian squad, and that is why he has not actually fit in very well. He probably is not the kind of player the Nigerian squad need, you know. But there is a coach that will come fit him in, and he will begin to perform very well, you know. So we wish him good luck. We wish him good luck, and we'll just pray he performs. So let's quickly go now. Right now, we've seen that those are the completed deals, you know, in the ongoing transfer window. Like I said before, Emmanuel Agbado from Reims to Wolves from 16.76 million. Seko Fofana from Al-Nassr to Reims. Iguawan went for 16.6 million, and Enrico Paulinho, the Atletico, to Palmeiras in Brazil, yeah, for 15 million. Then we have Kevin Deske, you know, for Seko Brugge. If we from Seko Brugge to Cincinnati, you know, for 12.7 million. Then Antonin Kinsky is a goalkeeper from Slavia Prague to Tottenham for 12.5 million. So those are some of the 5 top deals. Like he said, he has just given you some of the Nigerian players who also has been transferred to other clubs. So let's look at the top 6 rumor of the big names in the world of football. First of all, we'll start with Victor Osimhen. Yeah, the Nigerian international. The rumor is up here and there. We saw the transfer saga in the last summer transfer. It was the last person everybody was expecting, but at the end of the day, he was not transferred. It was not that deal was not completed, and he had to go for a loan to Galatasaray. So right now at Galatasaray, we are having Man United, the front runners for Victor Osimhen, right? Man United and Chelsea, they are the front runner. So Arsenal is the dark horse. You know, Arsenal is the dark horse. You know, they're not speaking loud. But what do you have to say about Osimhen's situation?
Yeah, for Victor Osimhen, is a player that his name will not stop popping up when the transfer window open. He's always in the news. You know, we saw what happened with him with Napoli. You know, he refused to play for Napoli again. But you know, for him, at the end of the day, there were a lot of rumors about him going to Saudi Arabia, even accepting dues and there. But at the end of the day, we heard that his agent, or the Napoli agent rather, they had to insert some, you know, contract that were not, you know, appreciated by the Saudi club, so they had to pull out. At the end of the day, you know, we were all thinking that he's going to stay put at Napoli, but we were so surprised when we actually saw him in the Galatasaray jersey. And this winter transfer window now, his name has been popping up again, and a lot of rumors, like you said, you know, Manchester United, Chelsea, you know, and even including Arsenal and some other clubs. There's also a rumor about, you know, PSG. Looking for a striker also, but I don't think he will be leaving Galatasaray anytime soon now, probably to the ending of the season. But I believe he will be at Galatasaray at the ending of the season, then probably wait till the summer before he will now move to another bigger club, probably coming to the EPL, joining Manchester United or Chelsea, or who knows, maybe Arsenal. Or even Liverpool, because we know Liverpool also have been struggling finding a 0.9, and we don't know if Mohamed Salah will move or not. But for them, for Osimhen, he needs to just calm down. Probably stay put at Galatasaray at the ending of the season, then make a move to a bigger club in the Premiership there, or probably Spain, or even PSG, to get back to at least one of those top 5 European clubs.
But do you think Victor Osimhen have the time, or do you think the age is on his side? Because probably, I don't know, can he the Galatasaray is not in the Champions League right now, but then the Europa. Yeah. So do you think he can make his name there?
I think he's already making his name when it comes to the Turkish football league there. We've seen how he has been banging goals week in, week out for them. And they're in the Europa League. He can also, stay put there and help them probably win the Europa League. If he can do that for them, he's already make his mark. Him going back to Napoli now. Napoli is not in the Champions League, neither are they in the Europa League or even in Conference League. So why not stay put there? And we see Galatasaray challenging for their league there. There's probability that, in fact, there's almost 70% chance that they will win the Super League there. And, for him staying there, to me, it would be a nice move for him if he should stay there and help them win the league, and even going ahead to win the Europa League for them. And we know how Galatasaray fans are. They love him now, and I don't think he will want to break their heart by leaving them this January now.
All right, and that is a Victor Osimhen for you. Yeah, see, all eyes are open, all ears also. Then are waiting for what will transpire in this January window. That is the big boy, Victor Osimhen, the Super Eagle player. Then we go to the next one here, another big name in the world, and that is Marcus Rashford. His name has been making wave in the transfer market. Though he's definitely is going for a loan. That is probably with the from Manchester United. So we have our front runners for Marcus Rashford. Napoli is there, and AC Milan. Then PSG, Saudi, and Seattle Sounders. They are all on Marcus Rashford. What do you think about the young lad?
Yeah, first of all, I think Marcus Rashford will not want to move to to the US at this stage now. I don't think he wants to go to the US. For Marcus Rashford, there's been a lot of rumor about clubs that want him, including a lot of Premiership clubs and Italian clubs and even Spanish team. We saw how Marcus Rashford has been frozen out by their new coach now, Ruben Amorim. For about 4 matches now. I don't think he has featured. The last time we saw him, he was on the bench. Didn't use him, and against Liverpool, I think he was not even on the team sheet that day. I think that was the last match. I don't think he was on this. He wasn't on this team sheet rather. So for Marcus Rashford, I think it's time he needs to move to another clubs. But I would prefer him still staying in the Premiership, so we can still continue to enjoy Marcus Rashford. Hopefully, if he joins another Premier League team, he's going to rediscover his form. But I don't think Manchester United will want to let him go to any English team, because they know that he might come back to come and on them. But so far we don't know if we'll be going on a permanent transfer now, or we'll be going for a loan. And one thing again is that if Marcus Rashford wants to go to all these other clubs in maybe Italy or Spain, I don't think they will be able to afford his wages unless he will be ready to take a pay cut, because we know Marcus Rashford is one of the players that earning high when it comes to salaries. Yeah, he earned a lot, and for him, I don't think, unless if he's going for a loan, probably there will be agreement between Manchester United and the club that is going to sharing the salary. But if he's going to be staying in England also, I think he want to take a pay cut. But for Marcus Rashford, I would prefer him to stay in England, so we can still continue to enjoy that Marcus Rashford.
All right, another player we talk about again is Dani Olmo for Barcelona. A lot of expectation for the young man. A lot of expectation. Manchester City is on him, and Man U also on Dani Olmo. Which of these clubs do you think he should go to? And probably he also want to stay in Barcelona.
I think the Dani Olmo issue has been resolved because the latest I heard now is that they've been able to register his name and he will continue to play till the ending of the season.
For Barcelona.
For Barcelona, yeah, but not taking that away, but there are still rumors of clubs like Manchester United wanting to poach him. when they heard that the court have rejected, Barcelona's appeal to sign him. But I think now the case has been resolved, and I think he will be staying put at Barcelona till probably ending of the season.
All right. Then we talk about the Mohamed Salah in Liverpool. And we all know his destination, Saudi Arabia. If anything will ever happen like that, because that is where he's actually called up on to come and play. But he's still in Liverpool, and also he's still open to Liverpool, and nothing has been done.
Yeah, recently we heard him talking to journalists about him wanting to win the league for Liverpool, probably because this might be his last season. That according to his word, saying this will be my last season, or might be my last season. But up to date now, Liverpool have not been able to resolve the contract issue. We've been hearing that they want to give him 2 years, 3 years, contract. But at the same time, Liverpool are looking at his age. Mo Salah is around, is it 32, 33 now? Giving him 3 years contract now. That means they will have to, make sure that they pay him at least up to, because already he's earning almost 250 there, and he's wanting around 350, which I don't think Liverpool will want to pay for a 33, 34 years old player. So for Mo Salah, I think he will see out the remaining days of his contract at Liverpool, then probably move to Saudi Arabia. We know what Saudi Arabia are offering players now. They are ready to offer him up to 500 to 600. We know how much they are paying Neymar Jr. Players like Riyad Mahrez, players like Ivan Toney, they are not even up to Mo Salah. And so for what's his name now, Mohamed Salah, I think the ending of the season, his name will be continue to be popping up on transfer, stories. But for Liverpool, I think they need to make sure they decide on time now, because if they allowed Mo Salah to stay without, giving him new contract at the ending of the season, once the season ends, I think he will walk away. He won't have any opportunity again to, be able to renew talk to him. Not only Mo Salah, there are other issues also. Talking about Alexander-Arnold also, Virgil van Dijk, they are in the same position with Mo Salah. So Liverpool is in serious issue.
And Alexander-Arnold is Real Madrid. So do you think that deal is going to be possible with Trent Arnold?
I think among all of them, probably I'm seeing Alexander-Arnold living there, because of late now, we've seen their fans, how they've been, saying, trying to discredit him, probably due to his recent performance, especially against Manchester United. We saw their fans were saying, if he wants to leave, he should go. If he does that.
But will they talk about just down on him because of just one mistake? That guy has been fantastic in football. Of
course, that's what the fans are. Maybe because he has not signed new contract, they think maybe he's just trying to, play just for him to. But the fans have forgotten how Alexander-Arnold has been instrumental for them. I remember one of the match against Barcelona in the Champions League, that they came back from 3 goals down in the first leg to win 4-0 now, return leg. The impact of Alexander-Arnold in that match, his quick thinking with that corner kick he took that gave them that, But fans, you can be doing good 99 times, but you see that one day you make a mistake. Oh my God, the fans will, lose it. But let's see.
What they need to know. Once you score 99 in examination, what do you call it?
It's pass mark, but
it's not more than pass. But it's still excellent.
In football, one game can change everything for you. We saw it with some players, despite winning clubs, football club, a lot of things. We saw it with what's his name now? The former Chelsea man, Kai Havertz. Yeah, he's a player that no Chelsea fans want to see now. But forgetting that he won them the Champions League. With that, his only goal there against Manchester City. But today, no Chelsea fans want to hear anything about Kai Havertz. So for Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool needs to find a way to make sure they keep him. But I don't think that will happen. Because they want to keep the Egyptian. Rather than keeping Alexander-Arnold. But let's see what will happen at the end.
Well, all eyes on Liverpool. Let's see what happened in Liverpool. with these transfer deals, you know. So I'll just quickly talk about another goal puncher. Yeah, that is the Sporting Lisbon man Victor Gyökeres. We see the front runners for this. Victor, we have Manchester United and Arsenal is another dark horse. They are always the dark horse to any big player.
Yeah, of course. Arsenal, they've been linked to a lot of strikers also. Not only Victor Gyökeres, but Victor Gyökeres also, like Victor Osimhen, is a name that will not go out from what they call it now. The transfer rumors. All clubs want to sign Victor Gyökeres now. We've seen his beautiful performance with clubs like with performance with Sporting CP and including the Swedish national team. And Arsenal have been looking for a striker. A lot of Arsenal fans have been calling on Mikel Arteta for going to 2 to 3 seasons now to bring in striker. We've seen how Arsenal have been struggling with a number 9. Arsenal don't really have that kind of goal poacher. They've been bringing in players they are not prolific when it comes to scoring goals. Players like Kai Havertz, even Gabriel Jesus. But for Victor Gyökeres, I think if Arsenal decide to go for him, it will be a very big move for him and for Arsenal, because we know that he's a finisher. When you talk about creating chance, Arsenal is one of the. In fact, Arsenal will be among the top 5 teams in the world that create a lot of chances for their striker. And we know Victor Gyökeres is very deadly, with the ball. And if he should come to Arsenal, I think he's going to bang in those goals with Arsenal. So I will be happy if Arsenal gets him.
Talking about him going to Manchester United before, Amorim, employed at Manchester United, at the point he was saying he's not going to bring any Sporting player to Manchester United. But with this link now, do you think it's possible? Or do you just think it's going to be just a rumor,
Well, it might be possible. At the same time, it might be a rumor. I think if Manchester United wants to sign him, I think they will have an edge over every other club, because first of all, they have their former coach now, because what's his name now? Victor Gyökeres excel under Almiron there, and we saw how he was able to nurture him. Though a lot of people don't know that what's his name now? Victor Gyökeres actually played in England. There was a time he was playing for Swansea City in the championship there, and before he moved to Sporting CP, he was also playing for Coventry. That season he scored up to 25 goals in the league for Coventry City, and he was actually transferred to Sporting City in the region of almost 30 million euros. People were not paying attention to him much then. When it comes to players in the championship, a lot of big clubs, they don't tend to look. They look at you because you are playing in the championship. Today now is Sporting CP, banging in goals week in, week out. So for Manchester United, I think they are one of the front runners, because the coach, we have to tell him that what we did together at Sporting CP, we can recreate that. We can recreate those moments also with Manchester United. But what will now happen is that we don't know if Manchester United will be able to pay the amount that Sporting CP will be demanding for, because we've seen a lot of rumors that Sporting are saying if you want to get him, just bring £100 million. And I don't think Manchester United, with their new owner now, I don't think, because that man now, their new owner, he has been doing some funny stuff with Manchester United. We've seen how he has been cutting down salaries of, even to the kitchen staffs. We've seen how he has told even Sir Alex Ferguson, please don't come to the canteen again. Different stories with the man.
Alex Ferguson don't come to the canteen.
Yes, they actually buy him from entering the canteen. Also.
They are legend. Even if somebody they build, they build a status in Manchester United, and you are depriving him from coming to eat in the canteen.
Yeah, the Manchester United owner, is this Jim Ratcliffe or what they call him? He has been making some kind of move, trying to cut down wages of but I don't think they will be able to bring out 100 million, because they won't want to go the same route they went with Anthony. You saw how Manchester United have been spending a lot of big monies on players and working out. We saw that with Anthony, Mason Mount, a lot of other names also. But I don't think Manchester United will be willing to pay that money. Though I don't think, in my own honest opinion, Victor Gyökeres, despite him scoring those lot of goals, I don't think it is worth £100 million. But I know it's just the asking price. But I believe any clubs that want to buy him will still get him the region of 70 to 80 million. So for Manchester United, if they can get him, let's.
All right, away from transfer windows, away from the January transfer talks, let's quickly go to review and a preview of some of the matches. First of all, we'll look at the matches played. That is the Carabao Cup semi-final, where Arsenal played against Newcastle in the first leg, and that match ended 2-0 in favor of Newcastle. And we saw the second game of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. That was the match between Tottenham versus Liverpool. Surprisingly, Tottenham won that match 1-0. That is the first leg. Now, so what will you have to say about those two matches before we talk about the next match, that is the second leg coming up?
Yeah, first of all, let's start with the Arsenal match. The Arsenal match was so painful for me as a Arsenal fan. I wasn't expecting us losing that match. I was before the match, I was hoping and praying we go ahead and win the first leg. But we saw how the match went. That day, Arsenal were not at their best. We also saw Mikel Arteta complaining, giving excuses here that the ball, this and that, the color of the ball,
the tricky ball,
yeah. But I don't think that's the reason. But I think the reason Arsenal actually lost is based on probably bad luck, because we saw Arsenal play that day. They dominated, created chances, but unable to break down the Newcastle team. And at the same time, I think Mikel Arteta also, his substitutions also, I think he got some of them wrong, because I was in the studio here that day when we were covering that match. He made a substitution that to me I don't think was necessary. I don't like, but it didn't go as planned. But at the end of the day, Newcastle were more clinical in front of goal. We could see how Newcastle were defending in that match, at the same time attacking. Anytime they attack Arsenal, we see they look like a team that is ready to score once they attack Arsenal. So for Arsenal that day, they need to, they lost the match as a result of bad luck and some coaching, errors. So also talking about the second match between Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool, that was a match I never expected, Tottenham to win. Though for that Newcastle Arsenal match, because Newcastle were in great form also. So I know that match, I think the match, I was saying it will be 60-40. But talking about Tottenham and Liverpool, even when I saw the lineup, I was saying Liverpool, giving Liverpool a 90% chance of winning that match. But I think Liverpool had a bad day that day. They were not at their best. If their fans were complaining about their performance against Manchester United, that it was not good enough, they need to look at the match against Tottenham. It was worst. It was worse. And secondly, there were lot of controversial decisions in that matches. We saw starting from starting from the injury to Rodrigo Bentancur in just the 6 minutes. It took them almost 7 minutes before they were able to take him off the field. Hopefully he's okay by now, because he suffered a serious injury there. We know the kind of player he is, that he's just coming back from injury. And talking about some decisions, the man that actually got Tottenham the winning goal, to me, he shouldn't be on the pitch.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
He's supposed to have been
given a red card. It was on yellow card when rough tackle.
In fact, that tackle he made, if the referee had shown him a red card, then we'll be debating.
And even in the press conference, and the Slot also talked about it. And in the press conference,
that should be a second yellow card for him. And the referee decided to allow him to continue. And at the end of the day, it was that same man now that got the winning goal for Liverpool. The referee, how are you going to explain that now? How are you going to explain that? But overall, I think Tottenham deserve the win. They deserve to win the match, and they actually
created good chances.
Yes,
better chances.
They were at home at their best that day. They were in fact very shambolic in attack and defense. Tottenham were all over them, and they got the winner. You remember they also scored, and it was chopped off. Before they
it was considered an offside. Yeah.
So for Liverpool and Arsenal, they have a lot of work to do.
All right, now coming to the second leg, of the semi-final. Arsenal will be going away to St. James Park. Then Tottenham will be going to the Anfield. So do you think these two teams can come back? For Liverpool, it's looking possible, but for Arsenal, is it looking possible too?
Well, for Liverpool, is looking very possible. One go down in the first leg. What they just need to do first of all is to make sure they win the match, even though it's by one goal, to make sure they drag the game to extra time or to penalties. And I see that happening unless they decide to, because their last two matches now, I'm talking about Liverpool, both in the League and the League Cup there, they've not been themselves. Unless, this new year now, Liverpool have been fantastic towards beginning of the season to ending of the year. But this new year now, they've not been themselves. So unless they decide to continue to be playing the way they've been playing now, I don't see them winning the return leg. But the Liverpool we know, if they decide to turn up, I think they will whitewash this Tottenham Hotspur team, irrespective of the 11 Tottenham will be putting up on that day. So for Liverpool, it's still possible. For talking about Arsenal have a very big mountain to climb. First of all, because they will need to be hoping now that Newcastle United are not in the form they are right now. And 2 goals down at a stadium that Arsenal have failed to win there in the last 2 seasons in the league. Yes, they've actually lost back-to-back match there. But at the same time, it's not impossible for them not to win. We've seen some big comebacks, in football. Yeah. 2-0 is not that big. We've seen 3-0 comeback. We've seen even 4-0. Yeah. For Arsenal, it's just they need to make sure whatever thing they got wrong in the first leg, they need.
But where the hope of Arsenal fans may not rise is that recently Arsenal has not been scoring more goals than they used to score those days. What they do these days, they give you they defeat you by 1-0 margin, 1-0, 2-1, 1-0. That scoring ability we used to see Arsenal with those days is not there. So that is the doubt why which Arsenal fans are having.
Yeah, Arsenal have not been scoring a lot of goals these days now, but at the same time they've not really been conceding also. Talking about Arsenal, last year 2024, they are one of the few teams. In fact, the only team in Europe top 5 league, according to the stats, that didn't concede a 3 goal in a match. The highest they concede was 2 goals. And in fact, before you could score Arsenal 2 goals in a match, it's always hard. Yeah, they were the most
defensive team. Last
season. To get a goal against Arsenal, you need to work extra hard. But talking about them scoring, that's when we talk. Let me refer you back to the issue of Arsenal searching for striker, a prolific number 9 that will get them those goals. They've not been able to. With the absence of Bukayo Saka now, it's like the problem have now doubled again. But for going to that match, I think the players and the coach they know the objective now. To go there and make sure you get at least 2 goals to level the tie, probably getting the 3rd goal, not conceding anything. Making you conceding now is all over for them. So they need to go there and get the winnings.
All right, they need to go there and get the winning, probably get an equalizer, 2 goals, and if possible, if they can score 3 goals, 3 or 4-1, they will still be on track. So that is all for the Carabao Cup. So the next match, we'll be expecting the next match in February. So and again we saw the Spanish Super Cup. Those days used to be two teams. Since 1982 used to be 2 teams, but since 2020 it has actually changed to 4 teams. That is the winner of the Copa del Rey and the La Liga. Yeah. Then, but this day now is the winner and the runner-up. So it's 4 teams. So we've seen the first leg, and we've seen 2 teams gone out. Barcelona defeated Atletico Bilbao 2-0, and Real Madrid, the defending champion, defeated Mallorca. So they will be meeting in the final. That is next tomorrow, 12th of January. So it's going to be another El Clasico.
That's another El Clasico to watch. They are giving us early El Clasico in the new year, and Barcelona, they actually defeated Atletico Bilbao 2 goals to 0. And we saw the last match against Atletico Bilbao the other time. I think Atletico Bilbao. Okay, no, it was Barcelona. So Barcelona won them 2 goals to 0, and they were able to get to the final, and let Real Madrid also going ahead to win Mallorca. For the El Clasico final now, it will be a very big match. because Real Madrid will want to avenge their scandalous loss.
4-0.
4-0. I think
I wish Doki was here. You know, I wish Doki was here. You know,
they want to avenge that match, and good one for them now. Luckily, what's his name now? They have almost all their players available, apart from the defenders. You know, Vinicius Junior. You know, he was given a 2-match ban, but he actually played yesterday.
yeah.
But I think that ban will be in the League.
La Liga.
Yeah, not
not in the Super Cup.
Yeah. So Real Madrid want to make sure they don't win. They don't lose that much. But you know, we saw in Barcelona, when it comes to Real Madrid, they are always, in fact, they don't care winning Real Madrid and going to lose their next match to maybe Leganes. They always prepare special when it comes to Real Madrid. But I think at the end of the better team, we actually win that match, because at the moment I cannot say Barcelona or Real Madrid will win, but anybody that plays better will actually win it.
All right, another match our eyes will be on is the FA Cup. That is the match between Manchester United versus Arsenal. You know, what is your take on that match? Your team will be playing again against Manchester United. We saw how they play against Liverpool. It's like they are gradually picking up, you know, and probably they are going to shock Arsenal on during the weekend. And you know, the chances of Arsenal closing up that gap. No, this is the FA Cup. It's not it's the FA Cup. So what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, as an Arsenal fan, I want to believe, you know, given our 2 recent performance now in the league and the Carabao Cup, this is a match we can't afford to lose now, because if we should lose this match now, in fact, I think the camera will now face the team and start asking questions, you know. Because we've been seeing lot of conversation going on the ground about Mikel Arteta, should he stay or not. Because for now, Mikel Arteta knows that this match is a match that he doesn't need to lose. Because first of all, for the fans' sake, but this is a rival match now. We know the history between Manchester United and Arsenal. Once it comes to both teams playing together, at a time they were the 2 teams dominating the English league. And for Arsenal now, with the kind of form the Arsenal are now, though it's not inspiring, but they know what to do. That's getting that, making sure they progress to the next round of the FA Cup. That's come this is it on the 12th now? Yeah, on the 12th. So they need to make sure they win the match. And for Manchester United, I think they are a team on the on the rise. Though I'm still not convinced with them, because we've seen Manchester United going to Etihad to actually win Manchester City, only for them to go to the next match they lose. It's
like they know how to play big matches.
Maybe they prepare special for some teams. That's what I want to say. They tend to prepare special for some teams. But when it comes to those smaller clubs, they don't prepare for those ones. But when it comes to the big teams, they prepare. We saw how they were able to play against Chelsea, when everyone thinks Chelsea will win them, against Man City, against Liverpool. The only team they actually lost against was Arsenal in the first leg in the league. They actually lose by 2-0. But at the same time, if you could watch them, you see them, they tried, they played, But now coming back to Emirates now, where they lost not more than a month ago now, they want to at least show themselves that we are not pushover. I believe they've sent a message to Arsenal with their recent performance against Liverpool. And for Arsenal, they need to make sure that this Manchester United won't worry them. Because, for Mikel Arteta now, you losing the first leg of the first Carabao Cup. Now, going ahead to crash out in the FA Cup. In fact, there will be a serious question about Mikel Arteta. So, but at the end of the day, I still believe Arsenal will win that match. All
right, you can hear Polo say believe Arsenal will win that match. He's an Arsenal fan, and Man U fan also will believe that the Man U will win. But after the match, that is on Sunday, we'll be able to know the winner. So, Polo, thanks for coming to the studio.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And to our viewer, thanks for staying tuned to Premier Sport Fan Center. It has been a pleasure having you. But remember, we'll be coming again tomorrow. And Sunday, that is the weekend show. We have matches lined up for you, and the FA Cup on tomorrow. That is the match between Chelsea versus Morecambe. Yeah, by 4 p.m. we'll be here to cover that match. Don't forget to join us. It promises to be interesting. And on Sunday, that is the FA Cup 2, 4 p.m. Arsenal versus Manchester United will be here to cover that match live. So thanks for staying with us. It's a wrap.
Don't forget to subscribe. Remember to click that subscription button.
Oh, and another goal for Super Eagles.
This is Premier Sports.